Hello, I'm Anganov, and today we'll be going through the development, changes, and unused content in Spider-Man for the PlayStation 1. The earliest pictures of the game come from a German demo disc shown by the user Solid Snake 11. In the first pictures we can see that there was a visible ground and the health meter and web meters were different. Enter Electro decided to bring back the ground in the sequel. In the next picture, Spidey is in a hallway very similar to the bank hallway seen in Stop the Bomb. At E3 May 1999, a prototype of Spider-Man was shown that was very similar to the one shown in the demo disc, the only difference being a strange third meter under the web one. The game looks amazing for 1999 standards, and I wish we got a level like this in the final game. In October 1999, the game started to transform into what it would become with the first few levels shown in an electronic gaming magazine issue. Numerous pictures were shown of the levels Get to the Bank, Hostage Situation, and Stop the Bomb. If you want to stop and read these magazine pages, pause the video now so you can read them. A handful of pictures from the same build were shown on Vicarious Vision's website in higher quality, so we will be analysing these more than the magazine version. Let's start analysing the pictures. As we can see, the Thug's eyes were actually red instead of green like the final texture, and when Spider-Man is webbing up the Thug, the mysterious third meter has returned but moved to the left of the screen and larger. In this photo, when Spider-Man web swings, it goes to a strange side angle. This returns in a demo which I'll talk about soon. On the last page there is a picture of an unfinished prototype Dr. Octopus model looking a lot different to his final counterpart. The major difference being that its robotic tendrils are 3D polygons in this, unlike its final 2D arms used for him and Monster Rock. There's a picture of the lizard model here, but we'll talk about him later. In yet another German demo disc, there is a video preview for a Spider-Man proto released around November 1999. Here we get to see a lot more gameplay and the changes that were made. At the start of the video we see an unused FMV cutscene that would have played at the start of the first level. Let's first talk about the combat. At first there was going to be two possible combos, a 2 punch or kick combo, or the standard one we got in the final one, a 3 punch or kick combo. And after you complete a combo, the bad guy you're fighting may get massive knockback, being able to punch henchmen off the roofs very easily. The henchmen are very similar to the final, except its voice lines are different, which were reused in the PC and Dreamcast port. The red-eyed thugs reappear again, and we hear that their guns were originally standard machine guns and not laser guns in the final. Let's get to the first boss battle, Scorpion. The major difference being in him that he's sporting his classic outfit seen in the animated series and comics, and his sounds were different and were reused for the PC and Dreamcast port. The most dramatic difference in level design has to be Rhino's. In his stage there is no electrical post to charge him into, but instead a giant pole in the center of the map with many fences going out of it. The last section of the demo video is a clip of one of the sewer levels that you would be chasing Venom in. The whole feel of the sewer feels a lot different and nicer in my opinion, with those green lights making it more identifiable in a sewer in a more comical way. The Lizardmen seem to be near identical to the final, except its sounds were a lot different and creepy in my opinion. The first playable demo disc of Spider-Man was released in December 1999, which I even have a copy of in real life. The level you play is Get to the Bank, but is quite different from the final. The two combos are back from the November 1999 build. The building where you fight the first henchman is taller, and the web swinging camera is a lot different from the final, which was present in the October 1999 build. This camera angle had it so when you web swinged in a direction, the camera would not recenter or move. I'm really not sure how to feel about that, and much prefer the final recenter mechanic. A build from around the same time was shown on the official IGN website with pictures of Get to the Bank and Race to the Bugle. Here are some pictures from around February 2000 of the police levels and Race to the Bugle. After the game's release in a winter jam-packed demo disc, there was a video of 3 of the developers in an interview talking about making the game and showing some gameplay. It's honestly a very interesting interview, and I'll leave a link to it in the description.
And then the day we got it working, it was one of the happiest days of my life, I know that.
Here are some pictures from the same era showing Race to the Bugle with a cool alternate meter on the top of the screen and the sewage plant level. The gameplay and photos are approximately from around March 2000. On July 20th, 2011, the YouTuber MegaRocksass12 released a video of him playing a beta disc he owned, calling it the fake version. The beta was extremely corrupted and broken, but thanks to SolidSnake11, he fixed the beta, making almost all the levels that weren't working playable. This beta would have come out around April 2000. In this beta we first see how the training mode was going to look, the levels we never got to see while in development, and some character changes. The main one being Monster Rock. This version of him looks so much better in my opinion, and explains why the Monster Rock icon at the top of the final level has glasses. There's a lot of changes in this beta, so I'll only be talking about the main ones. The Carnage boss fight was a lot harder than the final, with the sonic bubble only turning on around every 10 seconds, and Carnage would simply walk out of the bubble instead of staying in like the final. I even struggled with this level on Kid Mode, bloody Kid Mode. In Spider-Man vs Venom again, there is electric poles on each side of the switches that would shoot out electricity when turned on. Spider-Ham had a character view slot in the game, meaning he was going to have a model and possibly be playable. There was even a Stan Lee line for him.
Spider-Ham.
Same with Tony Hawk, as he was planned to be a playable costume, just like in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 where you could play Spider-Man.
Tony Hawk, let's see you pull a 900.
And SolidSnake11 managed to get his and Spider-Ham slot present in the costume selector. Iron Man was originally meant to have a cameo and have a full model in the game, as there was an unused character viewer clip of Stan Lee for him.
The invincible Iron Man, another powerful Avenger fighting for the good of the world.
In the PC and PS1 game files, there was a bunch of unused music sounds. Some of the music for the bosses were changed around. Carnage's music went through two changes. Originally it was the music heard in Sewer Cavern. Then after it was the Bugle's basement music. Then they finally gave him his own track. The rest of the boss's music stayed the same. Venom's voice was originally deeper and more echoey as heard in these voice files.
Hurry up, Parker. Quit slacking, boy. Come on, Parker. Let's go. Slowpoke. Oh, sorry, lady. Didn't see a thing. Look out, lady. Out of my way, nerd. Watch that first step, Parker. It's a doozy. Coming through. Hey, it's Donald Trump.
The final known build before the release of the game was at E3 May 2000, which had a playable demo with a few differences from the final, like the door button in Hostage Situation and the placement of the explodable wooden doors in Missile Attack. Now to talk about some other things that were removed or took a few changes, like the spider compass. The main base of the compass stayed relatively the same, but the cursor went through a lot of changes. The web dome went through a bunch of design changes as well. And Spidey's eyes were more further apart until the February 2000 build. One of the most interesting things about the development of the game was the fact that the lizard was planned to have a bigger role than a small cameo, and could have possibly been a boss and was in Venom's place in the sewers before he was replaced and moved to a cameo. The evidence of this is the magazine showing his model and talking about him. In the April 2000 build, the lizard was in the character viewer and had attack animations, and in the storyboards he appears in the jail cell of Doghawk, Scorpion, Rhino and Mysterio. He was then replaced with the Bank Thug. Another big change, which I'll not talk about much, is the prototype symbiote, which I made a video on already already. It had legs and teeth unlike the final model and had 2 walking animations. And I recently found some audio files which could have belonged to it. I theorized this because sounds with an S underscore are labeled as sounds for the symbiote and how well they fit in with the animations. Big thanks to SolarSnake11 who supplied me with most of the images and some of the information seen in this video. Thank you for watching this video. If you are new to my channel and want to see more Spider-Man 2000 related content, please consider liking this video and subscribing.